Welcome to another video here on the Giant Take YouTube channel. I am Josh, and I am joined by my co-host and friend Alex, and we are here to give you 2022 New York Giants training camp day 6 recap, the long title for a long amount of notes for this day, actually, funny enough. Yeah, it was weird because day 5, it was kind of a little slow, I want to say, with the amount of notes we had. But today we got a lot, so I'm excited to talk about it and give you everything we have there. Again, I'm still in recording on my Mac, so audio and video are not as good as when I would be home, but I should be back home by tomorrow's recap, so that should be okay. Or Alex. I don't know what I was gonna say there. Anyway,
or Alex, or something
Alex
with him.
can do,
Something with him.
Anyway,
he'll do something.
we'll figure it out. But let's focus on today first. Alex, how are you? First of all, let's get things started with that.
I'm doing well. I'm excited. Why do I say the same freaking thing every single day? But I'm happy training camp's here. I'm a little disappointed that there was no pads on today. So that would have been really disappointing if you actually went today and today was your only day you could go, and it's everyone expected the pads to be on, and then the pads weren't on. So that wouldn't be so good if you did end up going today. I'm not going to say luckily we didn't, because I think it would still be nice to go, but we did not end up going. So it doesn't matter much for us. But let's get right into it. I guess we'll go to the press conference first that Dable had before practice even started. It kind of gives you some hints, some tidbits onto what's actually going to be happening during practice. So Dable said they're going to keep rotating offensive linemen around until they set on a specific 5. So they're not going to do the Joe Judge rotation offensive line craziness where you get no cohesiveness, no togetherness whatsoever, no chemistry between the offensive linemen. He's going to get a set 5 by the end of training camp, but right now he's mixing them around to see what that best 5 is. And going back to Dane Belton, we talked a little bit about him yesterday. We didn't know the specifics of the injury yesterday, but we did find out now that it was a broken collarbone. It is still possible that he could be back by the start of the regular season. Dable, when commenting on this, he said that Belton was having a good offseason and is really mature for a young player. And he also confirmed that Belton will not need surgery, which is always a good sign as well. So hopefully he'll make a quick and speedy recovery.
Yeah, and stepping in right now is, I forget the name off the top of my head, but whoever the signing was that the Giants made, what is it, Andrew Adams? Is that the guy's name? Who's going to probably step in for Belton during this time when he'll be out, obviously. For a rookie, you definitely don't want to see that, especially when you're in a new offense, or defense in his case. But it is what it is, and hopefully everything will be okay there. But going into Alex's favorite undrafted free agent going into this New York Giants season, hoping he makes the roster. He was talking about Yusuf Corker, is instinctive, saying, quote, he'll get his opportunities. Is that on the 53-man roster, we'll have to wait and see. He also talked about Saquon Barkley.
It will be. It'll be on the 53. If it was a 40-man roster, he'd be making it. He's that good. All right, let's go.
Oh, my goodness. And then talking about Saquon Barkley, Dable said he looks, quote, explosive. A lot of people were saying that yesterday as well. Bobby Skinner, our friend from Talking Giants, even said, I think on the live stream yesterday or on their new episode that came out today, that he even was looking with the glimpses of the old Saquon Barkley, where I even saw Justin, his co-host and our friend as well, saying you're going a little too far there, and I would probably agree. Obviously, I wasn't there yesterday, but I don't know, calling him the Saquon Barkley of old just from a few runs in training camp, I think seems a little interesting. He didn't have the exact number, but said Saquon hit a pretty high speed on the GPS yesterday. John Feliciano, some good news here. He returns from heat exhaustion / hydration issues, whatever was going on that had him out 3 days of practice, 4 consecutive days with a day off on Sunday. He came back, was not doing things with the team per se. I believe it was more trainers on the sideline, but at least he's back there on the field with the helmet on. That's something definitely good to see there besides him being out. So I'll send it back to you, Alex, I guess.
Yeah, certainly good. He was, not participating in the 11-on-11, 7 on any of the team drills or even many of the individual drills. He was really off to the side today, but hopefully as we keep going throughout the week. We'll see more of him. I guess let's talk about something that we saw that was kind of unique. We heard Brian Dable talking about how he wants to use Kadarius Toney in unique ways, and he certainly did today. There was one play where he did a direct snap to Kadarius Toney, play action to Saquon, and pass to Wan'Dale Robinson, and that was with Saquon and Wan'Dale Robinson in the backfield with Kadarius Toney under shotgun. So interesting play there. We didn't get a video of it, unfortunately, but still cool to hear about. Let's go to the
Darius Toney played quarterback in high school, right? So that was the whole thing about they might be able to use him.
Yeah. So he played quarterback in high school. He's really an all around. I mean, he's a rapper, he's a quarterback, he's a wide receiver. I mean, he can do it all, man. But going back to the offensive line, going away from Kadarius Toney's rap career, the first center today in the 11-on-11 drills was Ben Bredesen, and in the walkthrough, he was starting in the rotation. That was kind of with Jamil Douglas and Shane Lemieux as well. But interesting that the Giants are trying out Ben Bredesen as well at center. Obviously, Dave Gettleman gave up a 4th and a 6th round pick to acquire Ben Bredesen. So if we can make something out of him, that would probably be nice, at least in the looking back on it and not thinking, oh my God, that was a terrible deal. Daniel Jones performed today. Josh, I'll let you get into it, but Daniel Jones showed out.
Yeah, I put it out on Twitter, on the Giant Take Twitter, kind of like Michael Jordan Last Dance, and I took that personally. Obviously, Jones going 5 for 13, I want to say, yesterday. Having some bad plays, having some bad throws. Again, I mean, I saw some tweets today saying that, but overall in the stat sheet, again, we weren't there, but from what we're reading and what we're seeing from the throws that were posted clips-wise on Twitter, he did have a good day. He bounced back. 2 bad interceptions. I'm sure we'll get to that eventually here, but it's nice to see that. And then a little comment on Ben Bredesen. Do not think he will make the roster whatsoever, but it's definitely still a possibility. I just don't think so.
I didn't think he was awful last season, but I think our offensive line was so awful that it made everyone who was on it look awful, even if they weren't completely awful. The unit altogether was so awful. So maybe Ben Bredesen, with a better overall unit, better coaching, etc., could progress. Obviously, it took a 4th and a 6th to get him from the Ravens. So
sure,
it's not like, I think he has some potential to possibly make the roster. I'm not betting on it, but I think he has potential.
Yeah, and then I guess I do have a clip here of Kadarius Toney burning Adoree Jackson on a route. Daniel Jones a bit underthrown, but he gets it to him there. We also have Eli Manning showed up for practice today. So that's exciting stuff. I think first training camp that we've seen Eli, besides the big bobblehead of him there that I took a picture with when I went and I saw Lawrence Tynes also had one. I believe he was there today as well, took a picture of the Eli statue. I think he said something like, this is kind of creepy in the picture there. If you want to check that out on his Twitter, I thought that was pretty funny. And then we had some injuries today. Starting off, I'll say with backup running back for the Giants, Antonio Williams. He left after injuring his knee in a one-on-one drill. It's now wrapped, and he was done for the day at that point. We also had an injury towards the end of practice with Robert Foster. I believe he was catching a pass. He was carted off the field. That's a big deal. You would think because of training camp, they just probably were staying on the safe side and not wanting to do anything more than whatever happened. But carted off and walking off on your own power, 2 very different things. So scary sight there, or scary to hear about both of those guys.
Yeah, certainly. Never want injuries, but sadly, it is the way the game goes, I guess, at times. So not an injury here, but an off the field issue, I guess you can say. Giants defensive line coach Andre Patterson hasn't been with the team because he's been dealing with a medical issue. Not sure what that is specifically, but an issue. He'll rejoin the team when he's ready. For now, assistant defensive line coach Brian Cox has been leading that position group during Patterson's absence. And some more depth chart kind of looking things. Josh Azudu was practicing at left tackle with the second team. So again, we're seeing his flexibility, whether he can play guard or tackle, which is always something that you like to see. Let's talk a little bit more about Daniel Jones, though. I think let's see what he did in terms of this. I know a lot of people are numbers, numbers, numbers. What did he do? What was his completion percentage? So Daniel Jones of his first two passes on of 9-on-9 weren't great. They were high. Tony couldn't reel them in. He tried going back to Tony on the next one, and Adoree Jackson picked him off and ran it the other way for the Giants. So he had a couple like a bad what do you call it? Like a couple bad snaps. You could say. I'm thinking of another word, but I can't think of it. But overall, Daniel Jones did go 14.
Reps, maybe a couple bad reps.
No, I was trying to think of something. It's some. Don't worry about it. And Daniel Jones, he did end up going 14 of 15 with a touchdown after throwing an interception on his second throw to Adoree Jackson. Good bounce back day for him, working on a lot of 2-minute drills, 3rd and long situations. So pretty impressive. And Adoree Jackson did end up getting a second interception towards the end of the day when they were in the red zone. So 2 interceptions for Jones, but pretty good on the day. So positive signs there coming from the Giants' number 1 QB.
Yeah, and that stumped a lot of reporters, actually. It wasn't just our friend of Talking Giants, Bobby Skinner, who put that out, how Jones looked so good. I think it was him, Jordan Ronan. Everyone had like tweets out before it was right at the end of the day, I guess, when Adoree Jackson got that red zone interception, and it was a pretty bad throw by Jones as well that I read too. But I guess that just shows that today was a good day for Adoree Jackson. It was also a good bounce back day for Daniel Jones, and you want to see him doing well in training camp. Now, if he's going to make mistakes like we've seen the past few days, the first 5 days of training camp before this point, at least he's doing it in training camp, right? And not during the regular season. You have those hiccups now. You get used to the new offensive system.
He might do it during the regular season. Don't count it out.
But I'm just saying for right now, it's better to make those mistakes than during the season. And especially in this new offensive system and this playbook that is supposedly very hard for the new receivers to get used to. It might not all be on him. I don't want to take some of the blame off him, but everyone's getting used to the scheme. And it's not even that it's very versatile, this new playbook, but according to players that I've been hearing from, it's even like a hard playbook to learn. So let's have these days early where we make mistakes, we bounce back and we do good towards the regular season there. Let's see what else we got here. So we also have that another one of Alex's favorites, Darius Slayton, had multiple great catches downfield, or as we would call him, Big Play Slay, the nickname. Not dropping any passes wide open in the end zone with these drills. Alex, what's going on? Is he making this is the day he's making the 53-man roster now? It's happening.
You know what I think? It's probably you know what I think? All those Giants fans who are hating on him on Twitter, I think it finally got to his head. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe if you just abuse someone on Twitter for long enough, they finally fix their issues. That's a joke, but who knows? I think he's a good receiver. I don't know why people hate on him. Had a couple bad drops, definitely has some drop issues, but so do a lot of receivers. If you're not named Davante Adams or I don't know, even Davante Adams, right? Davante Adams for the first 3 years of his career had terrible drop issues. So, and now he doesn't drop a ball ever. So just going to leave it there. Not saying Darius Slayton's going to be Davante Adams. Anyway, to wrap it up here, just like Eli wrapped up the Giants. Did you see what I did there? Wrapped up the Giants practice today by breaking down the huddle. So we're going to wrap it up by shouting out some stuff before we close this out. Josh, go. Great. Amazing transition.
All right. So thank you so much for watching this day 6 recap. What you can do to help us out. Just a quick few things. Hit that subscribe button down below. Drop the like. We would really appreciate it. And you can go in the description of this video and check out some more social media channels to follow and help us out. With that being said, yeah, I think that's it. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time for another recap tomorrow, right? I don't think they're off tomorrow. So I think we should be back for another recap tomorrow. We'll see you then. Peace.